All right, so today is Tuesday, the 8th of July, 2025. We're having our pre-New York session analysis. Now, there was no fundamental event for the morning session. The last was Asia session, and that was the news from Australia, excuse me, which is the cash rate, and the data came out good for the Australian dollar. So the only event this afternoon is actually the Canadian IV PMI, which will come up by 3 p.m. Now, it's a medium impact event. Generally, we don't expect much movement on this, but then we still need to take caution nonetheless. So it's a medium impact event. If the data comes out good for the Canadian dollar, it means we are buying the card. And if it comes out bad, it means that we are selling the card. So let's check out what this thing is all about. It tests the level of, it measures rather, the level of a diffusion index based on surveyed purchasing managers and actual data that forecast is good for the currency. So it means that if the data comes out good for the Canadian dollar, we'll buy the card, and if it comes out bad, it means we sell the Canadian dollar. So I'll go straight to the charts and I'll show you the instrument I'll be looking at for this particular event. And it's no other instrument other than the card CHF. I'll be looking at the card CHF for this news event. And why am I looking at the card CHF? If you look at the card CHF on the weekly time frame, the market closed last week with a rejection candle. Not just a rejection candle, price made a series of lower lows. You're welcome on board, Joseph. Price made a series of lower lows. You can see a lower low, a lower low, a lower low, a lower low, and a lower low. So we have a rejection candle closing last week. That tells us we're expecting a reversal this week, which is supposed to be a bullish movement. You can see that there's been some buying pressure each time price touched and made a lower low, on the trend line. So technically, we're looking for an opportunity to buy. Another reason why we're looking for an opportunity to buy is that this ends up forming what looks a lot like a double bottom pattern, and that will trigger a bullish movement. So this region here is a region of interest from where we expect reversal in the market. So if the data this afternoon comes out good for the Canadian dollar, then we see that price will go in the bullish direction, because this instrument is really getting ready for a buy in the first instance. Now, if you take it down to the 4-hour time frame, what I'm seeing on the 4-hour now is a formation of an inverse head and shoulder pattern. Shoulder, head, second shoulder, inverse head and shoulder pattern. And this is expected to trigger a bullish movement on this instrument. So if the data this afternoon comes out good for the Canadian dollar, we are buying the card CHF. This is the neckline region. The data comes out good, we're buying the the card CHF. But what if the data comes out bad? If the data comes out bad, there's no need to worry. Price will retrace downwards, and I strongly believe eventually it will still reverse back to the long-term direction. So we're bullish on the Canadian dollar ahead of the news this afternoon. And that is the fundamental side. On the technicals, I'll be looking at two major instruments on the technicals. I'll be looking at, just a second. I'll be looking at gold, and I'll be looking at XRP. That's Ripple. Now, for gold, I'll be holding a bullish outlook on gold. And these are going to be my reasons for that. My first reason is that gold has been bouncing off this trend line on the daily time frame. So we're seeing some higher lows higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And the candle that closed yesterday closed as a rejection candle because price touched the higher low again. Let me zoom it and make it bigger. You can see here we have a rejection candle on that trend line. So technically, we're going to be expecting a bullish movement on gold. Now it looks like the candle is reddish, bearish. Well, that's why I always tell people that you don't need to follow the candle, the color of the candle precisely. Not you can follow candlestick pattern, but not just the color, of a candlestick. If you take it down to a 4-hour time frame, you will clearly see that price seems to be forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern on gold on that 4-hour. The second shoulder is forming. And if it completes with this pattern, we're going to see a bullish breakout on gold. But then the neckline region is to be broken. So we have a minor neckline region here that price will have to break for us to buy gold. And the first target level will be this resistance level here. And that can generate some 140 something pips. They're about that small movement, all things being equal. Again, confirmation is that price must break out above the neckline, and price may target the next resistance level, and on like that, may see price climbing higher. So I hold a bullish outlook on gold this afternoon session. And it's a setup that may project even beyond today. It may end up being a kind of a swing, a bullish setup on gold. Price might break this level, break the next level. I even go as far as the third level up there, but then we'll take it one step at a time. So overall, I hold a bullish outlook on gold. And secondly, as I said, I'll be looking at the XRP. That's a Ripple. Now, XRP has been trending downwards for some time on the weekly time frame. You can see price, you can see a trend line that connects price together as it's trending, as it's making a downtrend. If you move down to the daily time frame, you can still see that price is trending downwards. You have a lower high, a third lower high. Technically, we should expect price to continue in that bearish direction. That's on the daily time frame. Now, another confirmation of the bearish movement on this instrument is the fact that the candle that closed on XRP yesterday closed as a rejection candle right on the daily time frame. That's an indication of a potential reversal. And thirdly, all this is equally happening around a resistance zone or resistance level. So technically, we have a confluence here indicating a high probability setup for a reversal in the bearish direction on the XRP. And if you go down to the 4-hour time frame, XRP currently is trying to form a head and shoulder pattern. Shoulder, head, second shoulder, and a breakout. And finally, we can still draw the trend line right here and a second one at the back to give a rising wedge pattern. And that is, if price breaks all through these levels, definitely we're expecting a massive bearish breakout on the XRP. And that's on the 4-hour though, but then you can still take it down to 1 hour if you want to make your entry on intraday level. Yes, that is possible on 1 hour, and that can give you some faster entry compared to the swing. So whenever price breaks out, this is the head and shoulder, head, second shoulder. Once a new candle opens below this trend line and your RSI is clearly below 50, you can trigger a sell on XRP. XRP is the same thing as Ripple. It's a cryptocurrency instrument. So I'm bearish on XRP. All right, so that's all I'm going to show this afternoon. I showed us 3 instruments. I said We're bullish on the CAC CHF ahead of the data we're expecting. The IV PMI we're expecting from Canada by 3 p.m. today. We're strongly bullish on the CAD CHF. And I said that we're bullish on gold, though it's a 4-hour setup. You can see an inverse head and shoulder pattern on gold. So we can get ready to buy gold whenever price breaks above the neckline region. That's very, very important. And thirdly, we looked at XRP. The XRP can work both on 1 hour and 4 hour. But again, we need price to break below the neckline. That's what you're seeing on the screen. Price still needs, we need to follow the principle and the rule. There's a neckline region on XRP here that price needs to break out below. Now for this XRP, I'll actually drop a signal on this one, to help those who might be newbie traders. So whenever price breaks out below that neckline region, we can look at taking a sell trade on XRP. All right, and price is expected to target at least this first level. Should be able to see a movement down to that, first minor support over there. And that can generate on the average about 44 pips, about 44 pips, on XRP. All right, so I'll take the signal now. I'll also post it in the 5X group. If you are yet to be on our 5X group, I tell you, you're missing a lot. You're missing a lot. I don't know if you saw it in your WhatsApp group that so far over 1,000 pips has been generated from our 5X group since inception. Over 90% win rate. So if you are still on the fence, you're missing a lot. Just reach out to your account manager and fund your account to be a part of the 5X group today. All right, so I'll take the signal on XRP now, and then I'll attend to requests that I'm seeing already on my screen. So XRP sells stop at 2.2403. TP is take profit. TP at 2.2008. Stop loss. All right, so we'll do a ratio 1:2 between take profit and stop loss to manage our risk. Two 2620. Okay. All right, so I'll drop it in the comment section here. You can pick it up from there. So that's the signal on XRP. XRP sells stop at 2.2404, take profit at 2.2008, and stop loss at 2.2620. I'm trying to post into the, huh? Yes. I'm almost done, just a few seconds. So 620. The same signal, I think just a second. All right, so it's XRP USD. So when you're searching for XRP USD. Okay, so I'm posting it now on the 5X group. So if you're on 5X, you can just go ahead and pick it up from there. It's already dropped. It's already dropped on the 5X group with the relevant lot sizes. Just go and check everything out on the 5X group for the specific lot size you have to use. So the 5X group. Okay, so I'll attend to questions now as we begin to round up. GBP, JPY, USD card, gold. I already attended to gold. New Zealand USD. All right, so let's look at and BTC. BTC is ranging at the moment. That's Ushola claiming there's a range on BTC. GBP, JPY is all likely means it has already moved. It has already moved. Let me go back to the screen. GBP, JPY, I gave this. Hello, just let's. All right, so this is GBP, JPY on the daily time frame. Okay, I think it's getting ready for another wave of movement. All right, it looks like it's trying to form a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, then a breakout downwards. So just watch it closely. For the person asking, nothing is happening at the moment, but price may eventually break out downwards on GBP JPY. And if that breakout happens, price may target this particular zone. Shoulder, head, second shoulder, breakout, price may target this zone here. So just take note of that for the person asking about GPGPY. It's not moving yet, but eventually if it breaks out, that's the likely point price might drop to. USD card. Now we have a bullish outlook for dollar for this week. Yeah, despite whatever the market is doing, the overall outlook for the dollar, because for the USD card, in line with that bullish outlook, price closed last week on this support level. So price is trying to form a double bottom pattern, which may trigger a long-term bullish movement on the USD card. So if the data comes out good for the card, you buy card CHF. If it comes out good for the card, it means that USD card may reverse into a sell. See, for the person asking about the card, USD card, is the news this afternoon because it has Canadian dollar. That is what will trigger the movement on card, on either the USD card or the card CHF. So you have to wait till the news is released. If the data comes out good for the card, it means you are buying card CHF, in which case the USD card being the opposite of it may go into the bearish direction. But ultimately, USD card might go bullish. You just need to wait patiently for price to break out above this current level. Like I told you, it's forming a double bottom pattern on the daily time frame. If the data comes out bad for the card, yes, at that instance, you can trigger a buy on the USD card. So it's that data by 3 p.m. that will determine what will happen to the card, especially the USD card. So I will encourage you to watch this video again. Once the analysis is over, shortly afterwards, I'll post the link to your groups, to your WhatsApp group, or whatever group you belong to. Make sure you watch it again to get insight into what I'm talking about. We've already analyzed gold, so I won't repeat that. New Zealand USD. Okay, please, I'm not taking any further requests after the last one, which is Euro JPY. I won't take another one after that. So I look at the New Zealand USD. All right, so this is New Zealand USD. We can see there was a support term resistance with a rejection candle. Price will proceed to touch this trend line. However, you are taking a sell when price breaks out below this minor support level. Except if you want to enter a sell now and use the recent high as a stop loss, that is equally possible. But if you want to really play safe, is at the close of this candle. But if you want to be aggressive, you can enter a sell now and use this tip here as a stop loss. And your take profit will just be somewhere around here. So the choice is yours. That's for the person asking. But it's bearish. Overall, the trend is bearish on the New Zealand USD. Very bearish. We're really running out of time. What's GBP CHF and Euro JPY? All right. Euro JPY, for me, it's not yet time to trade this instrument. It's trying to approach the weekly and the monthly. Let me say the monthly resistance is closer. It's trying to approach the monthly resistance. When it approaches the monthly resistance, then we can talk about a valid reversal. So up until then, personally, I will not really look at this instrument. It's still trying to make its way up to hit that monthly resistance. From that place, we can now look for a valid reversal. You can see I've drawn my trend lines already to have a rising wedge pattern to capture the breakout in a bearish direction whenever price hits that resistance on the monthly time frame. And it's a bit close. It's close to it. So we may see a retracement up, then final breakout. So it's going to be a swing setup. It's not yet ripe to trade the Euro JPY. Finally, GBP CHF. GBP CHF is ranging at the moment, so there's no valid setup. This is a range. It's advisable you stay out of it. All right, so that'll be all from my end this afternoon. Samuel, this XRP, can we take the trade now? Yes, take it as a pending order, not as an instant execution. Take it as a pending order. That's why it's a sell stop order, not an instant execution. All right, so that's going to be all for this afternoon session. Do enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Enjoy the rest of the day.
You too.